Today, guys, we're going to kick it off with Brad King. Brad is the founder of Dealermade, champion of first impressions. Brad leads Dealermade, the automotive industry's go-to for high-quality vehicle imaging, based in Kingswood, Texas, just down the road from here. Brad and his team help dealerships across the country stand out with consistent high-impact visuals powered by innovative automation and a commitment to quality. So if you guys can give a big round of applause for Brad, we'll get this bad boy started.
Well, good to see everyone. First, Jason, Jordan, thanks for putting on the event. I think we're all looking forward to watching the Astros win tonight, and we'll enjoy the day. But great time to socialize, see everybody. Appreciate you just giving me a few minutes to share some thoughts and ideas with you about the industry we all love to serve. So when I go in and I look at how you start off your day, you probably started off a lot like I do, because I walk in and I usually like to sort of walk around the shop and see everybody, make sure everything's off and ready to start a good day. And I'm sort of looking at when you start your day, you may go in, and this is sort of a view you may see when you first get started. You go in, look at your showroom, make sure everything's in good order. Maybe run around to the customer lounge. You got a few people in there getting their cars serviced. You want to shake some hands and make sure everything's off to a good start for everybody. Walk from there, and you may go back in the service and parts department, make sure all those emergency orders actually got there so you could fix those cars, and all those emergencies you were trying to take care of the day before all happen smoothly. And then you may go out and walk the lot, just make sure everything's in order, all the cars are clean, everything's ready for a good day, and possibly finish off that walk, maybe meet with your F&I team, just make sure everything got squared away like that night with all the deals you're working on, and you're ready for a new day. So why do we do all this? We do it for the first impression, right? We go in, we want to make sure everything's set up, everything's clean, everything we've got, just a good slate covered, so we're ready for a good day. Because if you can do that, the day gets a lot easier. So it's just a good way to start the day, to get going. So first impressions, they do mean a lot. So what's not seen there? You get to walk in every day, you get to see all those physical reminders that say presentation means a lot. Well, what are we doing? Well, we also know what's not seen is you've got a website out there. You can pull that up in the morning, make sure how that looks. But we all know where sales come from. These days, the bulk of sales come online. So that's a little bit more distance to us. It's something we don't get to walk into every day. And sometimes we can let that, not be focused on as much when we start a morning. And obviously, myself being in photography at the Dealermade Photo Studios, I'll be covering a little bit about that. But obviously, I believe pictures are very important in the market today with where our market is being online. So let's start with our favorite subject always. That's looking at revenues and profits. So if we look at the average dealership out there, you're probably doing around 50% of your new sales. That's where your revenues are. Profitability, average profitability says it's somewhere around 4%. We look at our next stage, and it goes down about half that amount, 20 to 25% of volume. It's going to be used cars. And we get to make a little bit better profit margin in there, but maybe 10, 15% on average. And then we move to fixed ops. Volume again goes down. Thank goodness, profit goes up. We're up around 55% or so. And the last is our most profitable F&I. We don't have too much cost based in that. However, the volume's low, but our profits are up in the 90 percentile. So that's what we look at it as an average dealer at profit. So when we look at new sales, used sales, obviously new sales drives fixed ops, and it's also going to help F&I quite a bit. Used sales is going to be very much help F&I and can help fix ops a little bit too. So obviously, where do we all increase our business? We increase our business and sales. Sales is where it's at. That's what we want to do. So we're always looking at how we increase that and how we do it, because I had, I work with what I do. We do a lot of software development with all our products. We push and pull a lot of data. So you've got software, and I mean, in my world, software is king. I mean, that's what creates all the magic that you like, right? I mean, you like all the automation, everything that happened, and that automation is what drives our company for Dealermade. So that's important. And then we have, just like you have, we have the pressure of sales. And all the guys, everyone asks me what came first, the cart or the horse type story. And I will say it stands true in every business. Follow the cash flow. The sales mean more than everything else, because if you don't have sales, nothing else matters. You can have the best widget in the world, whatever you have. You don't have sales to move it, it's really a meaningless product, unfortunately. So sales is everything. So where is sales today? Okay, I look at sales very much like dating. Okay, now I got a few gray hairs on my head, and I'm gonna date myself, but when I look at dating and compare that to car sales, I'm gonna be more like all your ups. Okay, I'm used to where we went, and whether I meet someone at church or I meet somebody at an event, but I want that face-to-face contact. I want to be able to sell myself and have that opportunity. And that's where we ultimately will make that sale, as someone will come into the dealership. Now, how they get there, that's a different story. Now, that used to be the only way it happened, but as we all know, that's changed quite a bit today. So I look at, when we compare that to dating, it's all moved to we got to move to a dating app. Now, fortunately, I've been married 41 years, so I'm not in that world, and not sure I'd adjust too well to that. However, that is the world. So think about if we were to go out and put ourselves in the dating world on a dating app today, what's the very first thing you're probably going to pay a lot of focus to? Picture. I'm going to guess it's going to be a picture. So you're going to go in, you're probably going to get, get the best shot you can, get you a good background, get you everything. You're going, hopefully put on something that's more your personality and is going to sell that, right? Now, if you're just going in it and you don't have your heart in it too much, maybe you go in, you just snap a shot real quick, and you're probably going to get the same results you put into it. And God help us if you do this one, and that is you don't put a picture at all. Okay, the know me sites of the world don't work too well. So anyhow, this is, think about that when we go into car sales. Okay, when we go into car sales, the picture does matter. Okay, what you put up there and the way you present it is the same thing as if you're out there going on that dating site. Okay, we all want that date. We want that up to come in there. We want to be able to have that opportunity to show them everything we're about. But this is my first impression. So if we have good pictures, things change. Okay, I'll go into the how-to and all that here in a minute, but the how-to does not matter as much as that good picture. I really just, that's what I sell. I don't sell photo studios. I don't sell all the automation. That's not the true sell. What I'm selling is a good picture. Okay, if you don't buy the picture, please don't buy from me, because that picture is what I'm selling. Now, when I give you some stats, I want to look, here's one of our customers, Drive Philly. They came in there, and what we do is there's another speaker coming on from Pure Influencer coming up here soon, and I've used their services some, and it works well. What I do is I like to go in and I put that script into my future client's website there a month or two before we get put in. We keep the records, and then after we put it in, we watch it for a few months and be able to show them the beginning and after. Now, I've already sold them. I really don't have anything to gain except just to say, look what we did, right? So here's an example. We went in, and in this, we installed this last June, and what you saw, they had a very poor presence on the website. but virtually overnight, it jumped up 100%. Now, why did it jump up 100%? Do you think me putting good pictures on their website made their website better, that it started drawing traffic somehow out of Google or whatever? No, didn't have a thing to do with it. Our pictures didn't do it any better as far as how they rank in Google or do any of that stuff. But guess what? They were spending quite a bit of money out on Auto Trader and Car Guru and all the other places we spend money at, right? That was seen instantly. Those pictures started changing, and all of a sudden people are selecting those better pictures and they're coming to their site. So it wasn't because I did a better job on the website. Don't think I have anything to do with making your website better. But I can make, when you're out there doing all your advertising and you're spending what? How many tens of thousands of dollars a month do you spend on that? The easiest way you can increase that profitability is to put good pictures out there. Does that make sense? So another thing we look at is engagement. Now, engagement to me means when I get to your website, I get to a page, how long do I take to look at that car and get excited about it? The more things you can put on there to get them engaged, the better. I'm not talking about calculators and tell me about the specifications. I'm talking about 360 views. Have you done a 360 view? I'm sure you have. So you got your car, I can spin it around. You may do it doors closed, doors open. You do an interior panorama. I can do ultra zoom and go in and see any part of the car. When we do it in our studios, we take pictures from a high level, mid-level, low level, and I can spin around at all those different stages as well. So I can really see this car probably better than if I was going to your lot, because I can zoom in, see the hubcaps, see the lug nuts on that thing. So by doing that, I get engagement. So, when you look at how people do it, in this case, they got 100% better engagement because they went from still pictures to getting all the 360 views and of the interior and panorama. Give you the same statistic. Here's another one. Bob Mills went in, sort of same thing. We did this one May of 24. You can see their website traffic went up about 60%, and their engagement went up by 20%. Same reason. I did not do anything to make their website better. They're just gaining more traffic, what they're already spending money on. To me, that's an increase in ROI. Okay, your ROI comes in many ways. Another thing, I love various vendors. We've got VizFlow. I don't know, they're really based out in North Carolina. But what's neat about VizFlow, has anyone ever heard of that company? No? VizFlow is a neat company in that you come in and you probably got to write checks to about 20, 30 different vendors all week to be able to have all those detailing to dent repair to whatever else it may be, right? And you got someone coming with a handout, I need paid today, and you're managing all that, making sure it was all done. Well, they take over that whole process and they handle all of it. The same people are doing it. They're just managing it. They write all the checks and you just write one big check at the end of the month to them. So anyhow, it's a nice service, but when they do that, they take over the photography as well. So what's neat is I happened to run into him a couple of months ago. We were talking about something with a common customer. And he said, oh yeah, I've heard about y'all and I've ran into you quite a bit, because when they go in and take over a piece of business, they inherit whatever you're using for photography, right? So they said, yeah, you can see, I actually keep a chart of it because we've got to grade everything in the world. We keep stats on everything. He said, when we came into your company, the first time I inherited one of yours, I said, I was scared of it. Y'all got a studio in there with turntables. You got multiple cameras. I said, boy, that looked like a nightmare about to happen, is what I thought. I said, however, I used it. We didn't have downtime. You took pictures wonderfully, and it ended up being the best product we've worked with. Now, I just want to share the stats with you on that because I thought it was important. Out of all the different means that they ran into, the majority of them were obviously, as you know, is really a third party coming in taking pictures for them. But he had about 4 of the customers that he was tracking, and a lot of the customers use, you probably heard of 360 Booth. 360 Booth is a nice product that you have a good environment. You push it around and take pictures as you push it around, and you're going to get a very good environment with that picture. They had some self-built booths, and then they had the Dealermade Photo Studio, and ours is fully automated. But the key is, look at the photo turn time. We had 4 minutes it took to process a car from beginning to end. And when you did that, you ended up with over 200 pictures, and you had interior panoramas, and you have your 360 spins. And everything's put in order, and all your pictures are, your hero shots already selected. You got inserts of different advertisements and such if you want that to be the 5th picture, 6th picture, whatever. It does all that for you. All you're doing is punching in the VIN, saying launch, door shut, carousel spin, 5-camera system operates, and it takes all those pictures. But again, all that's being created in 4 minutes, and all the competitors in the industry, it seems to take longer. But again, why am I showing you all this? I'm just saying that there's value. Everyone's looking at taking a picture, and it goes a lot deeper than just bringing that customer and them seeing a nice picture. There is a lot of things that come to the bottom line. So let's look at real life. Real life is what I look at what happens at my customers. I want you to see what their websites look like. I can show you stuff on my website, but we can put anything on our website, can't we? So I always like to go to our dealers who's using our products. To me, this is what a good site looks like. When you go to it, all the cars are uniform, all the cars are clean, they all have the same shine, same everything. It's consistent all the way through. And that's what I want to see throughout the site as I go. I'm just going to bounce over to show you a few examples so you can see what we sell. Again, we're all selling the same thing, aren't we? We're selling that vehicle. I've got to get you in love with that vehicle. That's what's going to make that. I've got to get you in love with it. You want to buy it. You're going to look at the payments, all that good stuff. But the very first touch is the picture. And that's what I'm after. Now, where are we competing at? I always like to look at this. If we go in, and I've just saved a few, let's say I'm on for this rather expensive car, and someone's out there, we spent $300,000, we're looking in the $300,000 range to go buy this thing. And what do we see? As we look at the various pictures that you have choices of, if you go and look at it, what has everyone done? Probably the majority of the market out there, you've probably seen where you do the background replacement, okay? Background replacement is great. I guess it's better than having the picture of, a crowded background. So it's good to pull that in. But if I look at that car to the right, a palm tree sit in the hood of your car with a very nice background doesn't really work together too well. Okay, so, staging and how you're going to place a car, if you're going to use the background, make sure you do a background that matches pretty much anywhere you can put that car. If you're going to go stage your car, go stage it in an area where you got the reflections, but I would recommend maybe use a more bland background, like just a gray background or a white background with shadows and such, so at least your car looks natural, because our eyes know what's real. Okay, when you see that, that car is really not sitting in that room if I'm looking to the one to the right. I'll look at the one on the left. To me, it's whited out, and to me, that's just a washed out car. Y'all know what I mean when I say washed out? Okay, because there's no color in the room, that car just appears as one color. If you look at the one in the center that obviously is from our studio, and there we have the gray to the white background. The gray makes everything show up on the bottom. It's picking up the gray, so it makes it darker. And of course, the white and the lights at the top make that lighter and show the illusion of shine. So that's what we're trying to do. Why do we do that? If I look down the side of that car, it's showing off all the lines, everything in the car, it shows quality. We're going to get a good, clean result every time. So that's what I'm after. Now, yes, I picked a very expensive car. But I would say the person buying that particular car, that value probably means less to them in the car than the people that are about to spend $40,000 with you for just the regular entry car, right? I mean, to them, that's a lot more money, percentage of their budget. So do we need to please them just as well as someone taking the effort here? And I say the answer is yes. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that to happen. When we go into that, I want to have a great picture behind it. And I mean, that's what I want your website to look like, is delivering that every time. So how do we do it? How do we do it? This is our flagship product. It's just the photo studio. A photo studio is something that we have to put inside your facility. If you don't have room inside your facility, we can build a metal building, a 30 by 30 metal building, place it directly on your concrete or asphalt parking lot, and we'll actually build everything inside it. So either way you go, we can put the facility on your place. Once you have that, if you look down, I mean, obviously we've talked about the image, but if we look at the facility itself, you can see at the bottom there's a metal building in the middle. There's the facility we're building, the photo studio on the left. It has a carousel that's built in it that can carry 30,000 pounds. It spins the vehicle around. We got a floor that's level. We use aluminum on the flooring. We use aluminum on the walls, and that gives us a real high shine. So shine is big of what we're trying to get in there. The decking on the carousel itself is powder coated, but all the same color. It's all going to stay on a level ground, and as it spins, it's doing all the magic. So how does it operate? Pretty simple. I drive in, I punch in the last three of the VIN, it finds the car, I hit launch. When I hit launch, there's a power door there that shuts. It starts turning the car, and I've got 3 cameras built into the wall that start taking pictures. We have an interior panorama camera that you set on the console right there at the start, and then all those happen, and as soon as it's done, in a minute, 20 seconds later, it's pointed at the door, ready to drive out. Door opens, you drive out, and all that goes to the web. So, you know, it's about a minute and 20 seconds for that, but by the time you get in, get out, do the whole thing, it's about a 4-minute session, start to end. What's real neat is what we're providing are a lot of neat products. So when you drive in and launch it, we have all the 360 spins you see in the middle. The car is spinning around. We got the doors open. It'll do the doors closed. We have an HD viewer. If you look at the bottom left, and that's on your website. So, you know, I'll leave you a lot of examples I'll forward you afterwards y'all can look at. But what's neat is this rides in, it lives in your website. And as soon as that car drives out of the studio, all those hit our cloud, and you've got a script in there that's looking at our cloud. So those pictures show instantly as soon as it drives out of the studio on your website. So it's neat, able to show all the 360 spins. Then we have a lot of tools, because as you're selling this car, it'd be great to be able to present that car with the spinning if you're doing advertising, CRMs, or anything else that you may be doing. So we have the GIFs, which a GIF is simply the car spinning around. So as soon as you send that in an email through your CRM or however you're going to send that out, as soon as they open it, no one has to click anything. It's just turning. And then they can click on it and go to your website and such. So that's great for pre-sale. After sale, this is one of my favorites right here, is after a vehicle sold, we can have a template. We have an app for all your salespeople. They can simply take a picture of the person that has just bought the car, say, look, we're going to knock out the background. If you let us take a picture, we'll knock your background of you and then put you right in front of your car and send that to you if you'd like that as part of your package when we deliver this. When they come, it's going to have your information up there, everything templated. It goes to you, and now you send that to them in a GIF, and what are they going to do with that GIF? Exactly. So social media is a pretty big deal these days. So they're going to go send that to all their friends in that professional manner, and I can't think of a better advertisement you can do, and you're going to get it free. And they're going to go send that. That's going to be shared with 100+ people in a minute after they drive off the lot with that. So free advertisement that can be produced all the time, because remember, we produced that when the pictures were taken day one. We have that whenever that car sold, it's sitting right there ready to work with. So, those are some of the ways we work with it. The other products we have, I don't know, I'm about done here, guys, but the last thing I just wanted to show you, we do have more than one product. We also have a photo car, because a photo car is something we use where you may want all the automation. You want a photo car goes around the car, takes all your pictures, and it does everything I just showed you automated. Okay, that's what it does. So when I look at that product, basically, you have a track that sits out on your car lot or wherever you want it. You simply move the cars off of it when you're ready to use it, put it on there, and it simply goes around the car in about 50 seconds and does everything we just described that happens in a photo studio. Same everything. The only thing I can't give you in a photo car is I cannot give you that perfected picture. You're still outside. So we can do background removals on that and make all that happen. But that's a photo car. We can do that. That's a very inexpensive method to automate your whole process. The next product will be just a photo booth, where if you want a room, you can walk and take pictures manually. Or if you want that to be fully automated, just put a photo car in the booth and it'll run around and do that for you. And that's a very easy entry point to be able to go there. And then the best of the best is put the carousel in there and let us do it all, where it's just fully automated front to back. So those are the products we do it with, and that's what we're after. But please, the biggest thing we're always after, I'm just after a picture. That's what I'm selling. So anyhow, with that, I'll just open it up. If you have any questions, go right to any questions you may have. I'll be happy to answer anything. I mean, we're putting in normally 28 by 28 is the size of the room. If you've got a smaller room, we can go about as small as 24 by 20 is the very smallest we can put in. But that's going to limit. You will not be able to turn a Super Duty in there, but you'll be able to turn all your cars. But 28 by 28 is a space we're looking for. You provide the space and we come do everything after that. But the only two things I need is some electricity we're going to pull to it, and we need internet. Other than that, we take over everything. If you're doing a photo car, we simply ship it to you. It takes 2 hours to put the track down and it's ready to go. We already have your inventories loaded in it. Everything's there and you're ready to go with automation right off the bat if you're doing something as simple as what we call the photo car. 4 minutes start to finish. I mean, the actual process is shorter, but I mean, you got to drive in, drive out, get out of the car, all that stuff. So 4 minutes is what you have per car. But that to create all the media every time, the same way, all the time, that has great value. And we have there. Any other questions? No, the lift, it'll fit like, lift kit, you're never going to get over 8 foot tall. I mean, just under 8 foot's usually your tallest you ever get with a lift kit. So that'll work. Now, when we have someone that's, say you're in Sprinter vans with the extended tops or something like that, that's going to have some limitations to it. So if we know someone is, I've built quite a few where it is specialized in that top vehicle. So what we do there is when I go there, I simply make them 12-foot walls instead of 10-foot walls. And of course, the door is going to be equally as high. So then we can easily accommodate that. So it's not traditional, but because we're about anything commercial will fit in our studios in turn. But if you do have something that's extraordinarily high and you're specialized in that, we simply adjust to it. Artificial backgrounds, I don't know. I'm seeing like, are there any Porsche dealerships in here? Okay, like Porsche just came out with their compliance, and a lot of the high-end, when I say high-end, I'm going Rolls-Royce and stuff like that. I mean, they've really started moving towards it's against the rules. You get hit with you're dinged on points. They get a 100-point scale and you lose stuff, but 40 of all their points they're going for is just on photography versus their dealership and everything else. I mean, 40% is just on photography. And if they have anything with a background, it's not allowed. It's not even a ding. It's not allowed. Now, I understand I think the majority of the industry has used that because at least I can get some, because all the backgrounds look the same, I gain some consistency on my site. And I think that's a plus. But think about it. Did you make your car look better? I mean, you're selling a nice background, but that's not what we're selling. We're selling the car. We know that. But that car still has conflicting reflections in it. Everyone knows you did something to it, right? I mean, everyone knows you changed the background. Well, if you changed the background, did you change anything else? Now, we do background replacement because if I'm taking outside pictures, do background replacement. I usually recommend a white background because I'm not trying to trick you that I didn't do a background replacement. I did. It has shadows. It looks nice, but I think that's usually the most proper way to go about it. And I usually recommend only do your hero shot. So once they get into it, they realize, you were just trying to gain some uniformity, but you really weren't trying to deliver something to me that was not proper, right? So I get to see all the real car, because showing it real is, I think it's real important. And so I'm for that. But to gain consistency on a site, I think it's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea to do it to gain that consistency, and you have the same look on your initial page. So, take that where it is. But I do see a lot of the industry. I've talked to cars.com, have talked to me at NADA and such, and they were actually looking at, ranking things and changing the way they display things. If you had a background, you've altered the car in any way, and basically wanting to put an insignia to say real picture and differentiate the two. So I know that's what some of the larger players are looking at, because I don't know that it's been accepted well by a lot of the leaders in the industry. I have obviously a personal view because I like a real picture and what we do in our studios, but we still work with it with our photo cars, and I think it's better than not. So, you use it how you will, but that's sort of what I see. I think in time the industry will say, I don't want it. Let's go back to real pictures. If you're stuck with, you don't have room for any of this, guys, one of the best things you can do is stage a car. Stage a car means you probably got to move the car 4 or 5 times and get it moved around so you get good pictures all the way around, so it has the same background. But if you take the time, a good picture tells a lot to the customer. Not only does it sell you on that car, if you've taken the time to take that good of a picture, it tells me what my experience is going to be when I get to your dealership. If they've taken that much time there, what does the service department look like? I predefined what that looks like by the way you presented your car. So all that, impacts our brand. So, all those reasons is what I bring. So if anyone dares, you can ask one more question, and I'm going to turn it over to whoever's next. All right. Well, thank you very much.